Hi, everyone. Welcome to Soft Elbows circa 2026. It's our first of the year. I'm one of your hosts, Abby. I've got Luna sitting with me on my desk. In case you've forgotten, she's the prettiest gray cat in the world. And to my somewhere on the screen is my good friend and friend of the show, Emma Hoffman. Emma, say hi to the people.
Hello. I'm going to apologize right off the bat that we are starting out 2026 with a cold. So
Yeah.
this will not be the normal voice that you hear, but I'm happy to bring it to you today.
Yeah, everyone has the plague, and we're all just trying our best. I housed a thing of soup. It took Emma and I a while to get situated, and I wasn't too upset about it because I had time to just absolutely demolish a thing of chicken soup, so that I don't get the plague as well. But anyway, so to address the elephant in the room right off the bat, you'll notice the absence of you'll notice the absence of our normal co-host, Steve Yonda. Steve has decided that his New Year's resolution is that he wants to see even less of me than he already does, and so he has moved forward in his life without taking the podcast with him. We send him love and light, and I'm sure that he will still watch, and we'll see him around the community. Both of us have cats on our screens right
Of
now.
course.
Yeah. But
We're not letting him off easy. He can quit the podcast, but he can't quit us.
he can't quit us. That is correct. Unfortunately, he's stuck with us forever. Ultimately, this is Steve's personal decision. I'm sure he's happy to discuss if anyone really wants to hear anything further. But ultimately, I will be keeping the podcast going because I like talking about weightlifting. And to Emma's point, off camera that we were kind of discussing, if two people watch this and listen to us talk about weightlifting, then that is a success to us. And, we will keep this going as long as we both still enjoy it and enjoy weightlifting. And so that is all we have to say about that. Um, Emma, I'm curious. When I texted you, I was like, do you want to do this with me? What made you say yes?
So, I love talking, contrary to what my voice is giving off right now. I love talking. And if you want me to jump on a call and talk to one of my best friends about one of our favorite things in the world and spread joy through weightlifting, sign me up.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. It just as soon as when you said it, I was like, oh, I have to answer really quick so she doesn't get someone else. Because honestly, I love to yap. So
It's
yeah,
true. We get in the same room and we yap a lot about weightlifting every time we get in the same room. So
yeah.
this
I
is
feel like
this
it
is
would
fitting.
come pretty natural for
Yeah.
us to talk about it, and then
Agreed.
I don't know. I've always had it in the back of my mind that I wanted to do a podcast, but I've never taken the leap. So when you were like, "Do you want to just join in and help out with soft elbows?" I was like, "Yeah, of course,
Hell
100%."
yeah.
So I'm game. I'm here.
I love it. Well, I'm glad you're here. This show's probably going to look a little bit different than it has in the past. I think Emma and I might do less interviews than we've seen. Steve was always very good at coming up with interview questions and interviewing people and getting people to open up. And it's just not my strength. Could I do that? Sure, but
I
it.
I will say, if you are interested in sharing your story, you want to talk about a certain topic, definitely reach out to us
Hell yeah.
because I'm pretty comfortable in that space. So, have a recruiting background. I'm in marketing now. I can interview people all day. So,
Multi-talented
not
weightlifters
to
up in here.
say not to say that what you're saying is incorrect necessarily, but we're not going to make that the main focus. However, I do think it's really valuable to hear voices
Oh,
in the community
definitely.
and stuff, and I know Abby agrees with that. So,
Hell
if
yeah.
you want to chat with us, please definitely reach out. Or if you want to nominate someone, I'm really good at bugging people to say yes. So, yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Hell yeah. So on that note, can you bug Phil Sabatini hard enough to get him on the show with us?
Um, maybe. I don't know. I
Mm.
mean, I barely know the guy, so it could be it. Yeah, so I will work on that. Phil's a hard man to tie down, in general. Like, I
Phil
don't think
only
it's
has
ever
he
like,
only has like 8,000 things going on all at once.
I don't know how that man must have 26 hours in a day. Like, he has like the Hermione like necklace that he can like go back and do extra shit. It
The
makes
time
no
turner.
sense to me the amount of things that he can get done, but
That's
if
funny.
you saw the most recent one of the most recent ECG reels that we did about like a day in the life of Phil, but like Phil wasn't in it. It was basically like me and Rachel and Jen and Steph, and we all dressed up like Phil. But like it started off with like I woke up at 4 a.m. to review my videos, and it's like that's literally accurate though. Like we're not even being sarcastic. He has to wake up at like 4 a.m. to review all his videos for athletes before he goes about his other, 4 jobs and family and kids and all the things. So
His own training on top of that.
exactly, yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah, for
I
everyone
will
that's not
try
aware,
that could be my 2026 goal is that we get Phil
get Phil on the
on
show.
here.
please.
I'll ask him if
People
he
love-
has a certain topic that would persuade him.
Yeah,
It's
that's a
tough.
really good one. I love that.
Yeah.
For everyone that's not aware, Phil Sabatini, he is, the GOAT of weightlifting.
He's that guy,
He's that guy. I'm sure you've seen him at competitions if you've been to any national competition, as an athlete, as a coach. He is the head coach of East Coast Gold down in Virginia Beach. He runs the ship down there, along with his other assistant coaches, and he is a dear friend to both Emma and myself. And
Yeah, I'm one of his athletes. If people don't know, I know me and Abby like to be sarcastic, but I live in Virginia Beach and I train in the
Virginia
facility
Beach.
where I see Phil. So I will try to get him on here at some point in 2026. But
Hell yeah.
yeah, I think that would be fun.
That would be fun. That would be so fun. So current events in the community coming up. We have 2 sanctioned meets in the month of January within the next couple weeks. First and foremost, we have Baltimore Open, which will be on January 24th and 25th. I am keeping my eyes peeled for a volunteer schedule, so that we can get all the help that we can up there. I'm really excited to see some of my teammates compete, some first meets, some returning meets, but all around, I'm expecting to have a very good time at the Baltimore Open. And then the following weekend, there is the RVA Open down in Richmond, Virginia. So I know they sold out, if I'm not mistaken. Emma, have you been following that at all?
No.
No.
Just like full transparency. No. But
Yeah.
I feel like they do usually come pretty close to
Yeah.
to a full meet. That's definitely a big one for the year.
Yeah, and they usually run a really nice meet. So same thing. As soon as I see a volunteer sheet come out, I will make sure to get that posted on the DMV weightlifting Instagram page. I know that they are looking for certified refs. So anyone who has their reffing cert or just wants to get experience in a chair, please reach out to Sarah Tyler and the RVA crew. I know they would really appreciate your help there. Another event that's not a sanctioned meet, but Emma's going to be partaking in that same weekend as RVA is the lifting ladder at CrossFit Revamped up in Laurel, Maryland. Emma, how are you feeling? Are you pumped for this or what?
Yes, honestly, I'm mad because you called me out on the last podcast and you were like, or Steve did and was like, you could probably get Emma to do it with you. And I'm listening.
Steve called you out.
I'm listening to the podcast and I text you and you're like, ha ha ha, I can't go. So I signed up with my teammate Rachel Clemmer. It's gonna be really fun. I feel like both of us need just like a fun, like I love that it's a team competition because as weightlifters, like aside from being a part of a big team and going to a meet, you're not like competing together. Like it's like gymnastics where it's individual, but you're together. So we're both really excited about that and just the opportunity to have fun, lift weights, have no pressure. I was like, wait, we get the full minute. So if we make like a stupid mistake, we just like can keep going until like sounds like a blast. Like I can make a mistake. That's like I know I can do the lifts. It's the fact that like you only get one shot with weightlifting, where like you're giving me and Rachel a full 60 seconds. Like our lungs may be a little bit more taxed than the CrossFitters. However, I'm excited. I think it's gonna be a blast. No idea what to expect. Steve gave me a little bit of a rundown of like what it kind of has looked like in the past, and like what some of the numbers were like. But on the sheet, it says like the platform at the end, where like if you complete the ladder and you get to like the big stage, essentially.
Yeah.
On the sheet, there's only 2 weights there. So that's where I'm like, is that just like where we're starting?
Yeah.
Or do we get to like keep going?
So that's where you start. Last year, Dimitri Alberry, Big Meech, for those of you that may know
Yes.
him, he did it. And
Wow.
Meech is a big dude and he lifts a lot of weight. And when he obviously made it to the big stage for the men's division, like he just kept making weights and they just kept adding weight. And he eventually was like getting sick of it. And so if I remember correctly, I think he talked about how like he asked them to put on like instead of going 10 pounds at a time, like go a full 25, go 40, like whatever, just so that he could like speed it along. And he was still going and asked them to like cut it off at one point. So like they'll go until you're ready to be done.
Okay.
If you keep
Well, I
making
don't
those
think me and
weights.
Rachel will be big Meech status here, but and I'm sure
But you
there's gonna
guys,
be like a lot of other really strong individuals. Like it's just gonna be cool.
I'm
Um
I'm most excited to see how you guys do because Rachel, both you and Rachel are very competitive for starters. Like just you're competitive period. You lift a lot of weight. You guys are both on the national stage, you know, at every national meet. Like and I feel like when you're in a training setting like with Rachel, the two of you just excel and go crazy. And so I'm really excited to see you
yeah.
guys go crazy.
Right. Like I texted her and I was like, if you don't want to do it with me, that's okay. Like I can find someone else.
Right.
But it's like this is like our opportunity, one, to compete together again,
Right.
because we used to compete together, and then I went up a weight class, she went down a weight class,
Mhm.
and then she went back up, but I'm still up. So it's like we really do miss being able to like compete together. So this is
Right.
just a really cool opportunity for us to do that, lift some weight, have fun. Like we were like talking about like, oh, should we like do matching outfits?
Oh my
Like
god, yes.
yeah. So it's a
Hell yeah.
change up, but it's still something like competitive that means like literally means nothing. Because even for
Right.
me, like a local meet, I'm like, yeah, but that number is gonna be on my USAW profile forever. Like you bomb out, it's gonna show. Like in 2022, Emma sucked. So like, I'm very competitive and I put a lot of pressure on myself.
Right.
So yeah, I'm really excited. I'm glad Steve's doing it too. I don't know if we'll see any other people that I know there, but like also a chance to like meet other people in the DMV
Yeah.
community and just like branch out and stuff like that. So yeah, me and Rachel are both very excited about it. We were like training together this week. I was like, we should like try to like you go, I go, so that we can build up our cardio for the end. But she was like, Emma, we literally have like 8s right now, and
I
like
was just about to
she's like,
say
we don't need to do that.
I wanted to ask you more about the training program that you're currently on because like it's freaking crazy, but we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
So a couple other housekeeping items before Emma and I just really go off the rails and just yap. But we have the registration is open for Cap City, which is in April. So go ahead, take a look at that. That's one of the meets that is put on by DC Weightlifting. It is Steve's favorite meet in the DMV community. And I was there last year helping out, and it was really well run. It's a good time. It's nice to see everybody, as always. And you know, I know they're looking to put on an even better meet this year. So go sign up for that. And then Emma, Spring Fling.
Yes, I was
When
gonna say we're not live yet. I think we plan to go live in the next week or so.
okay,
But we're the 25th and DC's
nice.
the 26th. So, just depending on where you're located and what day you'd rather compete, there's another opportunity that weekend in Virginia Beach.
Hell yeah. I'm more personally leaning towards like if I were signing up for a meet, which I'm not saying I am, but I think I would lean towards Spring Fling just because like I personally prefer lifting on a Saturday to a Sunday. I have a really hard time waking up the next day for work after I compete. Like I feel like I'll
I'm the
get hit by a truck.
same, Abby. I'm the same way. Do you have any more housekeeping items before we app?
I think that was it.
Okay, because I
Nothing
I
else.
have a gripe about Sunday lifting.
Okay, let's hear it.
I've always been a Saturday lifter. Like
Yeah.
being a 64, I was either Friday or Saturday.
As a 71, we were
69,
Saturday. Yeah.
71, like always Saturday.
Uh-huh.
Going up to 76, 77, I think nationals I was on Sunday.
Mm.
It's not for me.
Mm.
I think it's because I get so hyped for my teammates. I mean, Steve can attest to this. I was literally like
I can attest for
screaming
this.
from like, I was watching my teammate on red and he was all the way on like stars or stripes. And he was like, I could hear you literally like, stay, like screaming. Like, that's my job. Like, if people don't hear my voice, they know Emma's not here cheering for me because you'll hear me in the crowd, 100%. Oh, yeah. So I think because of that, by the time I got to Sunday and it was my turn, I had nothing left. I was like, this is the day where I usually like I get to coach and help out and like just relax, and then I go home tomorrow or tonight.
Right.
And having to like dial in and compete on a Sunday. No, I'm not saying that I won't have to do it again, but it was a wake-up call for like, okay, if you do compete on Sunday, you can't treat it the way that you treat it when you compete on a Saturday. Right. Like, you can't dump all of your adrenaline for your friends and your teammates and your energy and then like wake up on meet day and you have nothing left for yourself.
Right.
Bad. So if you were like me and you've never competed on a Sunday, but you think you might have to at some point, just think about that, because I didn't. And it was awful. Like, I can't even, honestly, for AO, when I was looking at the schedule, I was like, okay, with where my weight's at, could I like crash if they put me on Sunday? Could I like crash cut to 69 and just do bad? Like, in my head, that's how much I didn't want to compete on a Sunday. It was like, I know I won't do well if I do that. Like,
right.
I'm well aware. But to me, it was like having to just compete on like a Sunday night. Not that 8 p.m. on Saturday was any better, but that's a whole other story. But
yeah, for real.
So that's funny. My educational Sunday lifter piece for the day.
That and like also just from like, I know this is just such a small section of it, but like from a social aspect of it, like half the fun of going away for a national meet is getting to spend time with your friends that are not within the community, and they, you know, maybe they want to go out on a Saturday night, you know, go out on the town. Most of the lifters are done by that point. And so like everyone's going out and like you, like there's almost a feeling of missing out because you're still in business mode until Sunday.
Yes. And it's the first, like, our supers always are like, you guys will never understand how much it sucks, like, to compete on a Sunday. And like you said, like, we're all like going out to dinner Saturday and like basically celebrating when they still have to compete on Sunday.
Right. That's tough.
And that's really tough. And I didn't have a taste of it until nationals. And now I'm like, oh, I feel so bad for you guys. Like, it's not fun. For sure. Yeah. I think
that's also interesting.
Like teammates you don't get to train with. So for us, with East Coast Gold, like, I mean, like, I'm texting Jenny or Jen like all the time. Like, we're still communicating with each other. We're on the same program a lot of the time. But having that quality time, like, in person with people, as you know, like, it's just so valuable. Getting to see Leo, like,
Leo Totten, everybody, the goat, the other goat.
Literally, that is the highlight of my meet, is when I walk into the venue and I see Leo, and I'm usually with like a few of the girls, and he's like, my girls are here, and it's just like, I love that.
I love Leo. Funny story about Leo. Like, every time I see him, I always say hi. And, like, he says hi back because he's a nice person. But, like, there's no way he remembers who I am. Even though we're Facebook friends and I've met him multiple times. Like, you can just tell. Look at his face. He's no idea like, who I am. He's like,
I feel like that probably happens to him a lot.
Yeah, definitely. The guy's like super popular. Leo's been around the sport for so long and has met so
also feel
many
like
people.
He probably knows who you are, and you're just... You're Abby. You're bacon ham abs. Come on. Everybody, like, literally, I don't know. I feel like everyone, at least on the Northeast, knows who you are. Like, there's no way. You're bacon ham abs. Like, I like knew who you were before I knew you in person.
That's funny.
You know?
I guess, yeah. I guess that's just where we're at that point. But
most of my non-ECG weightlifter friends are girls that I either was like, oh my gosh, like, one, like, she's so pretty, or like, she's so good at weightlifting, or whatever reason, like one of their videos popped up or somebody that
Yeah.
I knew tagged them. I started following them. We both like obviously realized that we were either both weightlifters or whatever we have in common.
Right.
And then we end up Instagram friends.
Right.
Like I would
I
say
love
about
that.
at least 50% of the girls that end up like following me or me following them, like we become actual friends.
Yeah. I
And we
agree
see
with
each
that.
other in person and it's like, oh my gosh, like now we can officially say we're friends and we're not just like Instagram weirdos that are like obsessed with sending each other memes and tagging each other in giveaways. Like, so
The giveaway tags.
oh,
True.
if you Instagram friend me, you will get tagged in giveaways.
That's so
And I
funny.
will win. I think I've probably won more giveaways than any other friend
Are you
that I know.
serious?
Yes.
What giveaways have you won? I've never won a single one.
Okay, so my luck has gone down, and I don't
Okay.
know. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe, but in the beginning of me tagging a bajillion people and putting myself out there, I won. My first one was Lift Genie.
Nice.
That was pretty cool. I got like some Lift Genie tape, some gear. Then I won like cases of these like energy drinks. I had like 5 cases of like energy, electrolytes, like whatever, just like and protein powder. I think it was, I forget what brand it was. It was like a legit brand. I think like Jess Franklin was like the person who did the giveaway.
Yeah.
So like I won that. I've won Wild South. I've won Doghouse. I've won.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't know.
So cool. That's so dope. I've never won a single giveaway, and every time I get tagged in one, I'm just like, here we go again. And like I feel like I put my clown makeup on, my Taylor Swift clown makeup.
If you read the rules properly. So if they say tag 3 friends, is it tag 3 friends individually? Is it each tag of 3 friends is 1 entry? If you share it to your story, usually you get more, which is annoying.
That is annoying.
I just like tell my friends like, sorry, another giveaway. Here you go. Swipe. Like I don't care. I'm trying to put myself out there and win some free shit. So
true. Well, it's obviously working for you.
It is. Yeah, I will sit there for a solid 5 minutes and just scroll through like the ads and be like, who? But I'm very selective. I don't select someone that like, I'm not gonna like tag. Actually, no, I tag my husband in some girly shit sometimes. I just like.
That's fair. But he's your husband. He kind of signs up for that.
But if you have like the DMV account, you can tag that. So you can like, you gotta tag accounts that you know that you could tag and not annoy people.
Yeah.
So like I have an Instagram for all of my animals. So I'll tag that one all the time. If it's only one tag, tag in myself.
Yeah.
Tag in my husband, you know? But
yeah.
Anyway, that's enough of that rant.
No, that's funny. Weightlifting Instagram is like a whole other rabbit hole in of itself because like I feel like it is just one of those sports where you meet so many people online before you meet them in person, or like you meet them at a local meet and then you follow them online, and like your network just never stops expanding if you do it correctly. And I love that about the community. Like I met my current coach because I run the DMV weightlifting account, and I love telling this story. I think he hates it hearing it at this point, but I love telling this story. I posted a poll one time, and it was about accessories, like, do you do your accessories? And then I had the little blurb on the next slide where it was like, you know, give me your thoughts, because initially it was just polls and people would be in my DMs, and I was just like, I don't want to respond to all these messages, so I just gave them an outlet. And he responded with a photo of a kettlebell holding up a door, and the caption was, dumbbells and kettlebells are meant to keep the door open during the summer, if that answers the question. And I remember thinking at the time, who the fuck is this guy?
That is so funny.
Yeah, and I just I remember at that point being like, okay, so he wants to troll me, like I'm gonna do the most to troll this person. And like every single poll, like he would send in his response that was like, contrary to like my own like thoughts on it. And I just feel like he's doing it on he's got to be doing it on purpose at this point. So I started trolling him back, and then we became very good friends, and we still troll each other. But yeah, so like all of that to say, weightlifting Instagram is like how the weightlifting world goes around. I think the sport just wouldn't exist if we didn't have Instagram.
Honestly, that's a good point. Oh, my point that I was gonna make earlier, and I'm sorry that I have an issue with interrupting. I'm really gonna try
No,
better
you're
with my
good, dude.
ADHD
I
to
don't care.
not.
We're good. I think we both have ADHD.
So, gymnastics, I don't know if it was the time that I was in the sport, to your point, like there really wasn't, Instagram wasn't what it was.
Yeah.
Like when I was posting on Instagram in college, it was the same thing that I used it as Facebook, you know? Like it was
Right.
like update about my day today. Like, it was so dumb. I look back and I'm so cringy over what I used to post. But gymnastics was not like that. Like when someone would follow you on Instagram from another college, unless you knew who they were, you were like, oh, this girl, like she's trying to see what skills I'm doing, or like she, whatever. I don't know. I was never like that. And I feel like
Right.
that's why I thrived in the weightlifting world, because I was always like, wait, like, why does it matter? Like,
Yeah, no, literally.
like
Can't
I'm
we all
gonna
just be
do my
friends?
routine and you're like, it's not even like it's a sport like football where you're gonna be going head to head. Like,
Right.
I'm gonna do my routine, you're gonna do yours. The judges are gonna decide.
Right.
Like, and whether they're right, or we can't even control if they're right or wrong with
Right.
gymnastics. Like, we have no control over anything besides what we do.
Right.
So why
and
are you
making
being
your
mean?
skills. Right.
Like, there's a lot of mean girls in gymnastics, I will tell you that. There's also a lot of nice girls. I don't want
Yeah.
to like paint the picture that gymnastics, but like I did feel like the gymnastics, like it's not gymnastics. I felt that like
Yeah.
throughout. I feel like a big part of even like growing up, I feel like college was definitely better and different. Like your teammates they like taught me how to be a good teammate, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. Because
Oh,
like,
of course it does. That's
yeah.
awesome.
But other girls in other colleges, they would come into our arena or whatever, or we'd come into their arena, and they were not nice. Like, unless you knew them. And then if I had friends who I like grew up competing against and they were on the other team, and I would like go run and say hi and hug them, they would be super nice. But you could tell it was almost like their teammates were like, why are you hugging her?
Yeah. That's so
Like,
weird.
because we did gymnastics for 15 years together before we got to college, you idiots. Like, so that's what I think really drew me to weightlifting in general, was like the community. I've never experienced something like it seems like it shouldn't be this way, but somehow it is.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Like
everyone is so friendly.
Yeah, and like I'm sure there's mean girls, and like there's people out there that like want to see others fail, but like for the most part, like at least the people that we surround ourselves with, I think we're very fortunate, because it's like we want all of our friends to just make their lifts and to get better, and we want our like Meredith Alwyn actually has a really good way of explaining how I feel about weightlifting. And that is, I want to have my best day. I want you to have your best day. I just want my best day to be better than your best day, but I want everyone to go out and have their best day. That's how I feel about weightlifting.
100%. That's what I was just gonna say, is like, I'm still competitive.
Right.
But I don't want to beat you on a day that you're down bad. Like, I want us both to shine, and I just want to see like who edges the other out that day.
Right.
And I know every day is going to be different. Like, yeah, like me and Rachel are very competitive in our training, which is, I think, why you said like we thrive together, because it's a friendly competition. Like, it's not like I hope Rachel doesn't make it. It's like I'll still help her and give her little cues and hype her up and be like, no, come on, you got that. Because like, I need you to make it so that I can go be amped up to then make it after you. You know, like, it's just, it's always better to lift people up than tear people down. And like,
agreed.
Like you said, you want to beat the best person on their best day. Yeah. You don't want to be like, you don't want people to be like, oh, well, she won, but it's because the best girl, you know what I mean, wasn't there, or like didn't have a good day, or she was injured, or no, like, I just want, like you said, I want everyone to have an amazing training cycle, and I want all of us to push each other. Like, if I see some little 55 out squatting me on Instagram, like I might not know who she is, but that might push me to be like,
Yeah.
come on,
Like,
Emma,
oh my
like
God, right.
let's put some beef on that bar, but like that's the competitiveness in me where like I don't want that little 55 to get weaker. I'm just
Right.
happy that she's pushing herself because it helps me push myself, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
You just want to be stronger. And there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. I love that. And Emma also brings up a good point too about like the butts. Like, oh, she won, but and I have found that, there are a lot of nice people in weightlifting, but there is also a lot of that but. Like a lot of people will minimize other accomplishments, and that really irks me. And maybe it's because like I have never been like the best at weightlifting. Like I'm not on the top of a podium ever. I'm not vying for Team USA. Like I just, I'm not saying that I'm not a good weightlifter. Don't hear me wrong, but I'm also realistic about where I'm at in the sport. And you know, there are the vast majority of us are in that boat, right? Where we're pretty good and on our best day, we could medal or maybe not, or we're just looking to have our best day and improve or whatever. And it's really disheartening when somebody like kind of minimizes that, is like, oh yeah, well, she got bronze at the Arnold, but like no one goes to the Arnold. Like,
Right.
no, fuck you, I got bronze at the Arnold. And
Right. Yeah.
it's that there is so much of that in weightlifting, and that bothers me. And I don't know
I do that to
how to
myself.
fix that. You
Like
do that to
honestly,
yourself.
I do that to myself because
You talk about my friend Emma in not a very nice way sometimes.
I do. I was gonna say I've never had someone say that to me, but I've said that to myself because I mean everyone's goal is to get on the podium. Like whether
Right.
even if it's an unrealistic goal, right? If you're like, you know what, I'm gonna shoot for the stars, and if I land amongst the moon, that's great, type of thing.
Right.
But like that has been my goal for a really long time. At first, it was like, okay, my goal is to make the A session, and then I made the A session. And I was like, okay, cool.
Oh yeah, you did.
Now I want to get just like in my head, I was like just a third place because I'm like I'm realistic. I'm like I'm gonna
Right.
squeak in there, and it's gonna be because I went 6 for 6 and had myself a day. Because I'm not a top 3 lifter, and that's fine. Like you said, like I'm not diminishing that I'm not a good lifter. It's just like the reality of everything. And that one AO, I was looking at the start list and I was like, wait a minute, why is 76 less competitive than 71? I was like, I'm actually having myself a cycle. Like, maybe I'll just go up and see if this is like my one shot to get a medal. And then for months after that, like I had a great meet, I got a medal. And then for months after that, I felt like guilty about it. And it was like, why? But like in my mind, I was like, I mean, like instead of cutting, it's not like I don't know. I feel like I made a good decision. Like I talked to my coaches, I talked with Rachel about it. It was the best opportunity for me, and it was the best way for me to show up to that meet, especially not having to cut, to like see if I could hit really big numbers and everything.
And you did.
And I did. And I've stayed heavier since, which is crazy. But the guilt that I had after that meet, like my medals are still in a plastic bag on my dresser. It's been over a year. Like I haven't hung them up because I feel like, I don't know. Because I'm not like someone who's going to go to the next few meets and be like in medal contention. Like it kind of feels like, okay, well I got a medal, but I got a medal because like these 3 girls were injured. These 2 girls didn't hit a good snatch. And I ended up, getting a medal because of it, instead of lifting myself up and saying like, no, like you had a really good day and they didn't. That's how the dice rolled. Like I still kind of felt weird about it. It's taken me like over a year to be like, no, it like to your point, no, like I freaking medaled at the American Open. Like
which is fucking awesome.
Right. No, like I did that, but for a long time. Like, I don't know if anyone said it to me or not, but it was really just my own internal voice being like, oh, well, you didn't really earn that. Like, a 90 kilo snatch and a 115 clean and jerk at the next meet, you're going to be like 10th. You know what I mean? Like, in my head, it was just like that self-sabotage of like, you did it, but did you earn it? type of thing.
Yeah. And
Um,
I feel that like I'm also very hard on myself, so like I can imagine that I would probably feel similarly. But then, my therapist would encourage me to say like, no, I did earn it because I showed up on game day,
right,
because I registered, because I didn't flake, because I made all 6 of my lifts on stage. So like,
right,
there's more reasons that you earn it than not. And I love
right.
that.
Yeah,
But
I wanted to share that just because, like I said,
yeah,
like it's taken me a year, and I feel like I finally am kind of like, no, like, you know what? Who cares? Like it was still my best day,
yeah,
and that's the results of that day. And like in
absolutely.
weightlifting, every day is going to be different.
Right.
Everyone's going to lift different things. It's like it is what it is. But I don't know if anyone else has ever struggled with that, so I just
Oh
wanted
my
to
God,
put
I'm
that out there
sure.
because if you have, you are not alone, because I have definitely struggled with that a little bit. And I think to Abby's point, like celebrate all of your accomplishments, medals, no medals, like it doesn't matter. And the most beautiful thing about weightlifting is even if you haven't added a ton of kilos to your total, you can always find positive things or things that you've grown in, whether it's mentally or physically or
Yeah,
technique or whatever it is. You can always find a positive. And I think if more people did that, this sport, we're going to be 10 years from now, we're going to be looking at the sport, Abby, and be like, how there's going to be like 20 Olivia Reeves out there, like she's just the beginning of like the
yeah,
potential of our sport. And I think
agreed.
the more weightlifting makes you mentally tough, and the more mentally tough you are, the more you can like push through things. And I'm really excited. Like the youth in weightlifting right now, they're insane.
They're insane.
Insane. Like squatting double body weight, and they're like, I'm 8 years old. I'm like,
The
oh,
thing the thing that I'm like most excited for about this crop of youth athletes too is like Olivia's kind of an anomaly because like there wasn't always a ton of support for like youth and
right,
junior and collegiate level weightlifters. And so like you're at these formative years in your life where you're like, okay, how weightlifting is not exactly the most lucrative. Like I have to get a real job, I have to go to college, I have to put my energy into this. And so we had all these mega talented youth lifters that just fell off
right,
respectfully because they had to go to college, they had to get a degree, they had to do something to secure their future so that they're not eating ramen on their mom's couch for the rest of their life, like,
right,
and Olivia again is kind of an anomaly because I know that she was able to go to school and still train at such a high level, and like that's not the norm, and I think it's incredible that she was able to do it. But I'm really excited that USA Weightlifting is now doing like more of the developmental stuff for these
yeah, for
kids
sure,
so that they can continue to do weightlifting and also not worry about what are you going to do in 10 years, what if you want to get a kid, what if you want to get married, like whatever. And so I'm most excited for this next round of up and coming athletes because of that.
yeah. I mean, we're already seeing the benefits of what USA
Right.
Weightlifting has been doing. It's been, I know that they've been doing a lot of growth,
Yeah.
kind of programming over the last like 10 years. But to your point, I think they started with just the growth of the sport in general. Like get
Yeah.
people in the door, people who want to be excited about lifting weights, being healthy and competitive and all of that. And they were doing a lot of recruiting of like 20-year-olds, 30-year-old, like, people who were
Yeah.
kind of like, to your point, stable, had a job, like didn't have to give up a life to like start something as like a
Yeah.
hobby and just see where it goes and grow the sport of weightlifting. Now that has, I feel like that's going to continue to grow on its own, to your point, because of Instagram, because of
Right.
word of mouth and all of this. But for the young kids, there's no scholarships in weightlifting, right? Like not really. Like there
I
is,
think
but there's not. It's not the same as
yeah,
other sports where it's like,
correct.
if I'm a soccer player, I have, D1, 2, and 3 schools that most programs are going to have a soccer team where I can continue my sport, get my education.
Hmm.
Where like for weightlifting, like you can go to Lindenwood,
Or LSUS.
right? Or like, right, there's really not that many opportunities in
Right.
that space.
Yeah, I would
And
like to see more of that from USA Weightlifting, and like I think there are more popping up. Like Texas is a program, Florida is a program, like the big Texas and the
yeah,
big Florida. Um, Obviously, Lindenwood's a staple. I don't think Northern Michigan exists anymore. Um, LSUS,
even
eh,
having them develop more club programs.
right?
Like,
Yeah,
it doesn't need to be like an official
right.
stamped, like,
Yeah,
but if you could,
shout out to George Mason,
yeah,
our homies over in Northern Virginia.
for
They're a great
sure,
example.
you could start, like, if you're in college or you go to a college, for instance, let's say you're a youth athlete now
Yeah,
and you go to college and you have programming from home, you know what you're doing, start a club. Even if it's you and one other person at a local gym,
yeah,
like, that's all you need is to just start to build that community in your
right.
community, and you could be that person. So
Yeah,
I think, like, that's the biggest thing, is like empowering young lifters to be leaders in these spaces
yeah,
that don't have them yet. Like, think, like, for me instance, I'm thinking of like Harry, one of our lifters who just went off to college. He's out of heavy metal barbell now.
nice.
um and he's crushing it. And just thinking, like, if he didn't go somewhere where he had, heavy metal close, or somewhere close where he could go train, he is exactly the type of person that I could see starting a weightlifting program at his
Yeah,
school. Like, nothing super formal, just a club, like a
right.
club team Olympic weightlifting. And I think he would be an excellent leader doing something like that. So we have a ton of really well weightlifting educated young
Yeah,
folk that have been brought up in the sport. And, like, they don't realize it yet, but they're the future of the sport,
literally
right?
the future.
Like, they
Right,
are the future of the sport, whether you're an athlete or a coach or a mentor or just someone to talk to
right,
about the sport, like another youth athlete coming up through the program. Maybe you don't weightlift anymore. Like, you and your experiences and everything is the future of USA Weightlifting.
right,
So, like, empowering them, and like maybe that's something that USA Weightlifting could do. Like, hey, if you're
right.
graduating senior and like they know who their top graduating people are that are going to college, like,
Yeah,
stay connected with them, give
right.
them, maybe ask like for a mentor, if other people in the sport would be willing to mentor these kids,
Oh,
and like
yeah.
things like that would be super valuable. So I think,
Imagine imagine if USA Weightlifting had like a guide for like how to start a club weightlifting team, or like requirements, what do you need to do? Like imagine if they had those kind of resources. And maybe they do
right,
and I'm just like dumb. So,
I,
hopefully
I
Susie
think
can correct me, cuz I know she watches this.
they probably do. Whether
Yeah,
it's front and center and it's useful,
got it.
we don't know. So
Wait on.
yeah, I
Well,
think that's a big piece of it
yeah,
for me, is like, how do we just get more people comfortable leading, opening new
right,
spaces? You have to open a gym to have a weightlifting club. Like, talk
right,
to another local place and say, hey, me and 3 buddies are going to start lifting here 3 times a week. Like, it doesn't have to be complicated. Take the first
right.
step. Continue with weightlifting.
Yeah, I think that's a great message. I love that so much. So on that kind of note, Emma, I'm curious what training looks like for you. I mean, we obviously talk and like we share lifts and stuff, but like tell me more about the cycle that you're in, and like what's next for you? What does your 2026 start to look like?
Um, so coming off of the AO, I think, and I still call it the AO, don't,
Oh yeah,
whatever.
this is the AO. This is a safe
It's the
space.
AO forever. Sorry, virus.
Yeah.
Um, but Phil was like really hyped up and like bringing the energy, and we had a week off. We're always like forced to have rest. Like, if we want to come in and like, sometimes I'll like, if my shoulder wasn't messed up, I would have like maxed out my bench or like done something stupid and probably made him
Fuck
mad.
around
But
week. Yeah.
um we take a week off, and then he puts us on something called reactivation, which
Ugh.
is everyone's least favorite thing, because it's not like weightlifting. It's like, basically the way that
Oh
he
yeah.
thinks about it is like, we weightlift all year round. Like, 1 to 2 weeks after each meet, it's good to like move in different ways, like do different types of accessories. Like, we have like close grip overhead squat, thruster, like, I don't know, like just things that you would never do on a normal program. But all the weights are lighter because you're doing all this like crazy complexy stuff. Or like there's a
Right.
lot of safety bar squats and like things that we don't normally do in programming, but things that could be beneficial to, I guess, like make sure that our body's prepared for the death that he's about to bring us through.
Right.
So this time he was like, only 1 week of reactivation. Like, I'm super pumped. I want to get back at it. And we're all like, okay, great. Thank God. Only 1 week of reactivation. Then he sends us this program, and I forget what it said, but it was basically like the first 2 weeks are gonna suck. You're gonna suffer, but you'll get through it. And we were like, he's like, can't wait. I think it was like, can't wait to see you all back suffering together. And I was like, great.
That's good.
So there's a lot of week 1 and 2. We have 8 rep front squat and back squat. The first 4 are paused, and the last 4 are regular for 8 rep max. Back squat, front squat was, I like literally just did it. It was 3 plus 4. I don't know. It might have been 8. I literally can't remember because this is what this program does to me. And then deadlifts from a deficit. We have 3 regular plus 5 touch and go.
Jesus.
So a lot of strength work. And before the last competition, I was talking to Phil and I was like, I feel like everything feels so heavy off the floor. Like, I know I can do it, but it doesn't, like, I don't feel strong off the floor. Like, I feel like I just need more deadlifts.
And he said,
I have regrets.
that.
I have regrets. But
He said,
I know
ask and you
everyone
shall
was
receive.
like kind of agreeing with me,
Yeah.
with the exception of like a few people who are just really, really good at those movements.
Yeah.
Most of us are not that good at deadlifting. So it was something that a lot of us were like, yeah, like that'll be great. So he was like, okay, you said you wanted to get strong. Here you go. So it's been interesting this last 2 weeks. I actually feel okay though.
Yeah.
Like, I texted my PT and I was like, my back is lit up from those deadlifts. Like, it was just so tight. But I was like, but my disc is still in.
Nice.
Which
We
in
love
the
that.
past wouldn't have been there anymore. So, you know, we are progressing in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But yeah, for this year, for me, I don't know. I'm just gonna train, get strong. I only do 2 meets a year, always, unless I like really mess up and don't requalify. So I just do AO and nationals. So hopefully I will be at the AO. I mean, at nationals.
Nice.
I also hate Colorado Springs though. So I hate it there.
Yeah.
Can we move on?
From Colorado Springs?
Can we please move on? Please. I don't know if anyone else shares this sentiment.
How I feel.
Cannot stand competing there.
That's how I feel about Vegas.
Oh, I liked Vegas.
Vegas
like
was
stuff to
arguably.
do.
Vegas was arguably, you know, it's so funny you say that because I feel the opposite. Like Vegas, I feel like I competed. That was my best nationals. Was Vegas in 2022. I lifted so well, and I remember feeling really, really, really proud of myself after that meet. But like I felt so out of place because I don't like Vegas as a person. I'm not a casino girl. The food is just like
shows. Come on.
I didn't go to any, and like,
well, that's your fault.
That is my fault. But like,
I went to 2 Cirque du Soleil shows and had a blast.
I did get invited to one of those, and I don't remember why I didn't go. But no,
I could see your point though. It was very expensive.
Yeah. It's very expensive. It was 4th of July weekend.
4th of July weekend, yeah. Like there was a lot of things, but either way, it was gonna be 4th of July weekend. So I take that out of the picture.
Yeah.
The expensive part, I'm like, okay, but Colorado Springs is just as expensive.
Colorado is expensive.
You have to fly into like this. There's no direct flights, like,
or they're like $1,000.
The hotels are, like they're just, unless you're staying like in the hotel, but they have like 4 or 5 different ones, and if you don't get into one of those like good ones, there's minimum good Airbnbs because you're in like a old town. Like,
Right.
I don't know. I don't like Colorado Springs. I can't breathe. I'm like no, don't like it. We've already been there twice. I'd rather just compete somewhere else, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm also a little bit irritated that we're on the West Coast for all of 2026.
Yo, we are minus the
Or
Arnold,
like
but like
middle to whatever. But
yeah. Ohio is the Midwest. Yes, it is the Midwest. You're right. It's no East Coast meets.
there's yeah.
Yeah.
That's the part that I get a little annoyed at because
Wait,
it's not even the traveling, it's the time zone.
Where's AO2 again?
So I think it's always in Texas, isn't it?
Oh, I didn't know that it was going to be permanently in Texas. I thought it was
Oh,
just the last 2 years.
I don't know. I
Fact check us. Somebody fact check us.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. Yeah. Yeah,
So it's just
yeah. The time zone,
traveling,
the traveling is
it's
rough.
expensive for people who are on the East Coast or like
Yeah.
whatever, but it's also the time difference.
The time difference
Can
is
you
brutal.
imagine? Can you imagine? And going to the East Coast, I think, is different when you have someone from California competing at 8 p.m. in Florida. Not a big deal.
Right.
If my AO session or my national session or whatever is in at 8 p.m.
8 p.m. on the West Coast. Oh my god.
in California. So you're telling me that I was falling asleep. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're telling me that I was falling asleep in between snatch and clean and jerk at this last meet.
Yeah.
Like, there was such a long time between the two. I was literally sitting there and I was like, I could take a nap. And Phil was like, you got like 10 minutes till empty bar. And I looked at Jen and I was like, I could take a nap. She was like, you need to get a snack. No, she was like, you need to get a snack and like whatever. She's like, come on, let's like.
That's funny.
It's like 9:15.
You're actively talking me out of going up to 77 right now because I'll be honest. No, you're good. I had a really good Saturday of training, and I've just in general been thinking about like just being a 77 for a while because I really loved being a 71 and sitting between 70 and 73 like at all times. Like my body was happy, I liked how I looked, I moved really well, I got really strong. Like I was so happy between those two weights. And I feel like 69 like hilarious, but might just be a little, my body just doesn't want to be 69 and under even if it's temporary and I'm like cutting from 73 or whatever to get there. Like so I'm on the fence about Abby 69 and we'll see what happens, but then I remember, do I want to lift on Saturday or do I want to lift on Sunday? And
well, I was Saturday. It was just late.
Just late.
Very
I could
late.
do that. I feel like I can train any time of the day. Like I've been training.
Like there's a 77 is like there's a chance that you'll be Sunday. Where before it was like there's not a shot in the dark that 71 was ever going to be on.
Never.
Sunday.
Yeah, never. So, I feel like if I sandbag my total as like my entry total as a 77, like I could just that would.
I thought about that. I was like, I really should have just made myself B session at this point. Like, it was really cool to compete in that session, though. Let me tell you, those are some strong girls.
That was an awesome session. I didn't get to commentate that. I was really bummed.
Yeah, that stinks. But yeah, it was a really fun session.
Yeah.
That was my first. I feel like 77 meet where like most of the like normal local 77 people, like not international people, were there.
Yeah.
So that was cool. I feel
like all the best lifters were truly competing with the best lifters. I love that.
Well, I was talking to Vic about it and I was like, since when is a 200 total the B session?
Right.
It's like we are getting squeezed. We're getting squeezed back down. It's okay though. Like honestly, I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah.
Happy to lift. I hope I can lift as long as possible. I want to be that 90-year-old that's like, can't straighten these anymore, but you know what? I'm gonna jerk the heck out of it.
Boom, like, roasted.
Yeah. So no, I want to lift forever, and I know that I'm not gonna be where I'm at forever, but I feel it. I feel the pressure. I'm like, damn. Like these girls are getting strong fast. Like, I can't keep up. But yeah, like a 205 total, like squeaked into the A session, I think.
Yeah, it's
It's like,
crazy.
that's
That's
wild.
insane. Yeah.
But again, just to test, like, that's why I was honestly just, I'm just happy to be here. So
Hell
like, these
yeah.
girls are so strong just to be able to lift in the same session and be like remotely in the same caliber as like some of these girls. It's insane. And I've got to lift with Maddie Rogers and Olivia Reeves and like Ella Nicholson and like all of these like people who are gonna
Yep.
be in like the USA Weightlifting Hall of Fame one day. And like I can be like, I waved next to them on the platform at one point.
You did. I remember seeing that picture too and being like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god." I think my claim to fame and my like fangirl moment was Olivia Reeves telling me that my glitter was really pretty at nationals in 2024. I could have passed away.
I think my favorite weightlifting memory outside of like hitting lifts, because I can't compare the two.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Sitting in the back, my first A session, I was sitting next to, I want to say it was Alexia, because Mary was sitting there. 1
Was
kilo.
this Pittsburgh?
Yes.
Yeah. That was the best A session ever,
I
by the
have
way.
this distinct memory of sitting in the back room.
Yeah.
And like I'm about to go open, like seriously the heaviest I've ever opened by a lot.
I remember that.
And I'm just sitting there like talking to an Olympian, and she's just like so chill and everyone's so nice. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is the A session.
The A session, that A
The
session,
A session is so amazing.
the 71 A's at Pittsburgh was the best session ever because it's like
It
it's
was
literally
amazing.
all of our friends.
It was, I was just literally just sat there looking around at all the girls lifting and like, it's like, wow, this is really nice. Like, this is a really great experience. Like, I feel zen. Like, I've arrived and it's exactly what I needed it to be.
Yep.
Like in that moment, like talking to, I think there was some type of technical issue and I was talking to Mary and I don't remember what we were talking about, but Rachel has like pictures of me like laughing with her and everything. And I just like core memory of like my first A session and feeling so welcomed and so like, it wasn't like, oh, like who, like, why is she here type of thing.
Right.
Like, I know
No.
I'm opening the snatches, ladies. Like, I'll catch you guys later type of thing. But like, it was so awesome to see so many girls that were so good and so supportive of each other and so just like I didn't know any of them. Right. So like one of my first times, well, obviously my first time being in an A session, but also being in an A session and being in that weight class because I had just like kind of come up in weight. Right. So I didn't really know any of them. I think the only one I knew was Vic. So
no,
like,
it was Yumi and Vic walked in.
Oh yeah, you were back there too.
Yeah, it was the best.
Again, I like literally was just like
we all blacked out. That was a weird national.
I swear I blacked out. And then I think Olivia like snatched 120.
Yes.
I was like, I was in this session. Like, I don't even care. Like, this is so cool. That
it was so cool.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't even remember what we're talking about. But yeah, A session. Sometimes the B session is a little like if you're in a B session or a C session or even in an A session, don't be so like, you know.
Yeah, it's not that serious.
I get it. Trust me, I'm like that. Trust me. When you see me in the back, I'm very like eyes forward. Don't really say anything. Talk to anyone. Got my headphones on. When you're like lining up,
be fucking
okay
nice.
To like
talk
to people. You know. I thought the A session was going to be way more intimidating because I feel like the B session kind of felt intimidating. Did you kind of feel that way?
I always felt like the B and C session were really intimidating because it was like
so intense.
People feel like it's almost like they have a chip on their shoulders of like, well, I want to be in the A session, so I need to be this person and la 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 la. And like, it just gets a little weird. It's almost like, that's how I feel a lot of times at like the AO series meets. Like I feel like there's sometimes people get this air of like chips on their shoulder almost of like, well, I want to be in an A session or I want to make it to nationals or I want to make it to finals, so I'm going to be super intense and super focused and extra, and like instead of just enjoying the experience. And I do think that's a really big mistake that people make, not only for yourself from a performance standpoint, but for like just a community standpoint. Like you kind of get a reputation. You can get a reputation for yourself really fast if you're an asshole at these meets. And so, and I feel like a lot of people do that in the BNC sessions. They get that asshole reputation, and
Right.
no
For
one
like
wants to
no
fuck with
reason.
them.
And I know
For
it's
no reason.
never
For no
it's never
reason.
malicious. Like I know that everyone's nervous.
Right.
You know, like I
Right.
get it. And like I said, you got to do what you have to do on game day to put up your best performance.
Right.
If I compete differently than the girl next to me, like if she's, you know, like doing this and like talking to her coaches and I'm just like locked in, like if I want to be locked in, that shouldn't affect me.
Right.
And me being locked in shouldn't affect her. Like,
agreed.
You should be yourself and just be
Yeah.
able to like do what you need to do. So if you do need to focus, like don't get us wrong,
Right.
do that. But there's also like there are times in competition where you don't have to break focus to be nice.
Yes.
So I
That's
think that's
huge.
like my biggest piece is I'm a very focused athlete. Like even in the gym, people will see me outside of the gym when they first join ECG and they're like, "Oh, you're so nice. I thought you were a bitch." I'm like, "What?" Because I do, if we have a hard training day, like I'm not really talking, like, and it's not because I'm not a talkative, bubbly, like obviously you see who I am as a person, but sometimes I can get very quiet and very just like in my own space because that's what I need to do.
Right.
So that's fine. But then if someone were to come into the gym and be like, "Hey Emma, how are you?" Like I can stay focused and still be like, "Hey, how are you? How's your day? Like, what do you have today?" You know?
Yeah.
Just still kind of being friendly while staying focused. I think people take like I need to be focused to your point, like too far where they're like, I need to show them that I'm so focused and I'm ready to be here. And it's like, we're all ready to be here, homie. Like,
right. I think, and then there's also the other side of the spectrum, and like we got to wrap it up here soon. But I feel like there's the other side of the spectrum too, where like sometimes people can take that too far. Like if you're being nice and you say, "Hi, how's your day? What do you have?" on the way back, and they just want to keep talking, like I really struggle to cut that conversation and be like, "Hey, I gotta do this." And like you don't want to be that guy either that can't read the room. I guess that's kind of the moral of like what we're talking about is like you do just got to read the room a little bit. And to Emma's point, you can be focused and not be an asshole. So,
and it's okay to tell that person that.
Yeah.
Like if they're your teammate, your friend, whatever, like it's okay if they're like, "Yeah, I got squats, this, that, whatever." Be like, "Okay, give me a second. Like I gotta focus for my set real quick."
Right.
That's okay to say that.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to be like, "Geez," like and be mean about it, but you can say, like, "Give me a second. I'm about to hit this," and then like whatever.
Yeah.
I just need to focus for a second. And then they're probably gonna go start warming up and you won't have to talk to them anymore. But like just be nice. Moral of the story, be nice.
Moral of the story, be nice.
We can end on, I guess it's January, and I know ECG is doing like the whole month of January is free. So trying to encourage a lot of new people to try out weightlifting. And just in the spirit of that, I think a lot of people are in that mindset this year of like, even if, I mean, I'm also a member at Planet Fitness, my local Planet Fitness, where I like to go and torture myself from time to time with some cardio and accessories. But like, just be friendly and be nice to people this time of year because a lot of people are trying to get the right foot ahead of them when it comes to like their health and wellness and just like picking up new things that are intimidating to them. A lot of like New Year's resolutions. And I think we can always just be a friendly face to help people this time of year because you don't know what they're going through and you also don't know like why they're making this choice and how important it might be for them to pick up this new hobby, sport, whatever it may be. So encourage people to come to your gym this month is my wrap up. January is for all the weights. So if you have a friend who's ever been somewhat interested in weightlifting, just ask if they'd like to join you one day. And maybe it's a no, but then maybe 2-3 years from now, they pick up a barbell and it's because 2026, Abby told you that you'd be really good at trying out a new thing and that you might enjoy it. So we can end with that.
Love that.
Wrap up our yap.
Sounds great. Thanks for tuning into our yap. Hopefully we see you guys in the very near future. And you continue to listen to us yap. So have a great week of 2 weeks, I guess, of training, and we'll catch you back out here.